YouTube. This is a review of the Moga Rebel controller, and it's a Bluetooth controller for iPhone and iPad. And essentially what it is, it's a controller you can game with, and it has this fancy clip where you can clip your phone in. So this is something you can buy if you're in the United States, buy Future Shop, Best Buy, any of those stores, of course the Apple Store, probably Amazon. If you're in Canada, like myself, the only place I've seen it available is through the Apple Store online, which is really strange, but it takes about 3 weeks to ship, and that's the only place you can get it. So you see, obviously this is compatible with my iPhone 6, this clip. It fits in there nicely, but because, it's a size adjusting clip here, it'll fit most phones. So I have an iPhone 4S here, which is the same width as the iPhone 5, 5S, and 5C, and that also fits in there just great. So, any size of phone, and I mean, you can see how much it extends. You can definitely fit an iPhone 6 Plus in there, and, as well as you can just, fold it down and use it on a full-size iPad as a regular controller. Some of the pros and cons of this controller are, it's really nice. It's really nice to use. It's very comparable to an Xbox controller. So here, as you can see, looks pretty much the same layout as an Xbox controller, except it's got that clip in there, and it's similar build quality. So very well made, very easy to use, strong buttons, all that stuff, very good controller. And, this is comparing it to like a SteelSeries Stratus, which I previously had, but actually returned because I didn't like it, where, that's a little controller, built more compactly, but essentially, it felt very cheap, and it was kind of, for a person with big hands like me, it wasn't something that was easy for me to control, I was kind of cramping to use it. So this is a lot better for, if you've got big hands, this is a great controller because it's very comfortable to hold, very, very easy to use. One of the main concern, the only really downside of this thing is that this hinge is kind of like, it's operating on gravity. So if you flip it up like this, the phone's going to fall down. So that doesn't, it's not like a Nintendo DS or something where you can kind of play it, even lying down or at an angle, because it'll just fall. So the only really downside of this whole thing is just that this hinge is a bit weak over there. But other than that, it's a great product, and it's available, I think, for about $90 after tax, which is, very competitive to any other controller on the market. Okay. So there's obviously a wide variety of games here. If you want to know what kind of games are supported for this device, you can go into, there's this controller app, free app on the iPhone, on the Apple Store there, and it'll show you lists. It'll show you a list of all the games that are compatible with controllers, and not just the Moga controller. There's just general controller standards out there that Apple's put into place. So, these games will be compatible with any device, or any controlling device. Whether you want to use the SteelSeries Stratus or a different brand controller, there are a few out there. So, as you can see, there's literally hundreds of games that are compatible, and I'm scrolling and scrolling, and I'm only in G out of the alphabet. So there's plenty of games here to enjoy that are compatible with the controller. I'll show you one. I've got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, big crowd favorite, and it looks like I've got my phone in there upside down. So if we go to the loading screen, right away in the main menu, the controller's already working, and we can just, pick up where I left off last here. So it's pretty nice. I mean, you get basically the exact same experience you would playing this game on, a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox console, now that you've got the controller on your phone. So, I mean, it's very responsive. The only thing is that there's a tiny bit of lag. So, even you notice when you're running, it takes about a couple milliseconds, but it's not really, it doesn't hinder the gameplay. It's just something that you need to get used to. So, as in true Grand Theft Auto style, I can beat this guy to death with a baseball bat and kill some of his friends, and then make a run for it. So, very enjoyable to play. There's also, less console-ish games, so something like this game called Leo's Fortune, which is $2 or $3 on the App Store, or maybe more. And this is something that you would probably normally play with a touchscreen, but they've optimized it for controller as well. So if you were to play it with the touchscreen, it would look something like this. You move it to the left and right with your fingers and jump. But of course, you can do that all with the controller, with the joystick and different buttons. So even for lighter, more casual gaming, they do, a lot of the games support controller, which is pretty cool. So a wide variety of games available. So lastly, another favorite is Real Racing 3, and this game is really taking advantage of the controller, as you'll be able to see. So if we load up a race here, normally, you would tilt with steering and there's auto throttle and auto brake, but you can turn all that auto stuff off and steer with the controller as well as brake with the controller. So here I go, as you can see. It's great to steer with the controller. It really changes the gameplay. I mean, just having a controller makes gaming way more enjoyable on this thing. And, ooh, that was a bad turn. And, at the end of the day, if there's a number of games you like on your phone, that are available on phone, you can really replace like a Game Boy or something just with one of these $90 controllers and an iPhone. So, all right, so thank you for watching. This is my first product review, so if you do like it, please give me a like on this video if you want to see more, and I'll come at you with some more product reviews. Yeah, check out the links in the description for that controller app, as well as the link to the website, the Moga website, and have fun gaming.